Okay, so here we are with a brand new product from Mark Holcroft, and as you can see I'm painting our demonstration example, and the reason I'm doing this is that you can basically see it as you would see it if you bought the kit. Now this is being sold in knockdown form so that you can build it yourself as a kit rather than having the model all fully assembled as is usually the case. Now there's two reasons for this. Three reasons. One, it's easier to print. Two, it's easier to post. But more importantly, on a large model like this, you can get to the fine details more, and Mark is very well known for the fine details of his designs when it's easy to access, when it's not all assembled. If you can imagine, with the walls attached to the roof, you would not find it so easy to reach the spars. Now the paints that I'm using here are acrylic paints that I bought from Hobbycraft. Could buy them from any hobby store. There's nothing special about them. The reason I'm using these is that they work particularly well with the PLA and also resin. And as you can see, I haven't put any primer on, and there's two ways of doing this. You could do the main body of the roof first and then do the spars, the trusses and wooden bits. But what I've done is I've done the wooden bits first. The reason for this being that if you paint over the edge of where you're trying to paint, you can go right up to it. It's much easier to go right up to a fine detail item on the big areas, and so long as you're careful when you're painting the main body of the roof, you can avoid going onto the wooden truss, but it's far harder to do the other way around. So this is what I'm doing. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Mark is well known for the very fine detail that he incorporates into his designs. And not only has he designed these wooden spars to support the roof, but he's also designed in metal brackets to act in between the joists as to join them. And he's designed these into the model, so I will be painting those black. And I've mixed white with a bit of brown here so that you get a light brown, because the wood will have faded over time. It's got dusty up there. It might not have turned black yet, but it certainly will have gone to a sort of a grey brown colour, and that's what I've tried to replicate here. And this one, as I said, is going to be one of our demonstrator ones. This one is actually going to be the demonstrator that we take to shows. And we're building another one that will be for our show stand. And and for a 009 exhibition layout. I'm sorry about the background noise. It is all windows are open. It is an extremely hot day today. I'm not complaining, but I'm not going to sit with the windows closed either. So I apologise for the background noise. Now, this is a double shed. You could call it a small carriage shed, or you could model it as a large engine shed. It could fit both purposes. It has stone walls, it has slate roofs, so you can really model it to whatever your 009 requirements are. And as the name implies, you can get two tracks going in. It's going to have two sets of doors at the front, which you can see just at the top of the tray there. And yeah, so this is designed basically so you can paint it all and then assemble it. That's the process that we're going through here. And yeah, I'd welcome your opinion. Is this something that you would find useful on your 009 layout? Is it something you've been looking for? Do you think this is something you would buy? What we're planning to do is we're going to sell this in knockdown form, not painted, for £50 plus post and package. It really does take a long time to print all the various bits on it. It's well worth doing, but we have to sort of reflect the size and the materials used and the time it takes to produce. So I'd welcome your opinion in the comments below. What do you think? Is it something that you would enjoy? Is it something you've been looking for your 009 layout? Now, as you can see, I've now reached the other end, and it feels more rewarding towards the end than it does towards the beginning, when it feels quite daunting doing all these bits of wood. But by now, as you can see, we're closing in on the far end, and you can sort of see the grey bits highlighted in between the joints. That's the metal brackets that I'm going to paint black. So as you can see, we're progressing nicely. It is one of those models, it's worth putting the time in at the beginning because you get the rewards at the end. It's the sort of thing that people don't automatically see on your layout, but every so often someone looks inside, and just to hear them say, "Oh, look at that, I hadn't seen that before, you've got such and such inside," they're the little things that give modelers such pleasure. And that's the reason why I'm painting all these details individually on our demonstrator. Apart from anything else, this is likely to be picked up and scrutinized by more skilled modelers than myself, and they are going to notice if I haven't painted everything. Anyway, as you can see, I'm closing in on the finishing line with the wood. The other good thing with this acrylic paint is when it's dried, if you've made too much, it just peels away from the spatula, if you want, where you mix the paint. It just absolutely brilliant. You can just literally flick a fingernail under it when it's dry and just peel it away from the plastic, and it leaves the tray good as new, nice and clean. So just touching up, making sure I haven't missed anywhere. I probably have. There's nothing worse than the paint drying in when you're finished and you spot one piece of wood that you've forgotten to paint. So here I am literally just looking for anywhere I've missed, anywhere that I can see. If I can see it, there's a chance someone else will see it. As you can see, the other side is fully detailed with all the slates on the roof individually modelled. So it really is very, very fine detail model. And as you can see, when you paint these details, it just brings it alive. It adds life to it. So I think I can call myself satisfied with that. On to the next bit. Whilst the spars, the brown is drying, I'm going to mix up some more paint. Now here I've got a bit of black. I'm going to mix in a bit of white. Now this is for the slate walls, inside and outside. You want it to be about, I would say, 60-40 white, more white than black. It's quite difficult to get it perfect. But what I also do is when I've finished painting the walls, I get a little bit of white and I basically brush it off the brush so that it's almost dry, and then go over them again just to highlight the detail and the individual slates. It just adds a little bit more texture. But that's way down the line. Right now I'm mixing up the slate, making sure that the paint is very well mixed. It's even more important on a colour like this, especially if it's the main body of your model. I've probably got a little bit too much black in here, but I'm not too concerned at the moment. So get it well mixed. It's very important not to have little streaks. It won't really affect the finished model, but what it will do is give you different shades. Now, that isn't necessarily a bad thing on a model like this, because you want a little bit of difference, a little bit of texture, but you don't want it so that it's completely different. You want to have a nice mixture there. You see, I've decided to put a bit more white in. It was looking a bit dark. That's the beauty of these paints. You can go back and touch it up and get it a little bit lighter or darker as your eye decides. It gives you an awful lot of control that you don't get with oils. Now, don't get me wrong, I like oils and I've used oils, but this stuff is so easy to use and it's ideal for these PLA or resin printed models that are designed by Mark Holcroft. Now, this one we print, it is a Mark Holcroft design, but we print it in-house with our PLA printer. And yep, I'm liberally splashing it all over, as Henry Cooper would have said, for those of us old enough to remember Henry Cooper. And what I try to do when I do the inside, this is the outside, when I get to the inside, what I tend to do is try to leave the chamfers where the walls meet a little bit of dry area that the paint hasn't touched. That means that the glue's taking straight to the plastic. And the other thing with these I would recommend is don't use liquid poly, especially with these ones, which are PLA, because PLA plastic, believe it or not, is not a petrochemical product. It's made from vegetable starch, in this case from the Chinese imports. The PLA is made from starch from rice. Others use potato as the source of the starch for the PLA, but the liquid poly won't do anything. It'll stick for a little tiny bit and then come straight off. And the same with your wood glue. What you want to use on this stuff is contact adhesive, Yoo-hoo, Bostik, that sort of stuff. Yoo-hoo's the stuff we use. It works very well. And as you can see, I'm carefully painting around the details. Now, on the outside of the walls, I've decided, because the window frames sit quite proud, I'm going to do the front surface of the window frames in the company colours, which in this case is dark green, and I'm going to paint the slate first. So it's the opposite to what I've done on the roof spars, just to make a liar out of me. Okay, and by now I've reached near the end of the line. I've got all the walls painted. I've got the inside of the demonstration the exhibition layout roof, which is what I was painting earlier, and this is the second roof for the demonstration one that I've done all the walls for. As you can see, first of all, what I'm trying to do is liberally put paint all over the roof. Make sure that there isn't any bare plastic. That's the main thing at this stage. Get a nice even coat of, doesn't matter if the shade varies slightly, that's natural. That's going to happen in real life. But what really matters is that there's no plastic showing, so I'm just trying to make sure that all the little nooks and crannies, Mark, as I said, details everything brilliantly, and all these slates are slightly different. They sit slightly differently, like it's been up there for quite a while. You know, it's an old roof, it's not brand new. The slates move with time, with you know, the odd storm going through, and this is very typical of a narrow gauge engine shed or carriage shed. So what I'm going to do when I've finished all the painting, like I said, is assemble the whole model. Hey up, someone going on holiday, plane going over. And yeah, when it's all assembled, that's when I'm going to add all the little highlights. Do a bit of dry brushing, as I mentioned earlier, with a bit of white paint, a bit of slightly different shades for the odd slate, just as you'd find in real life, really. It's all about adding a little bit of texture, adding a little bit of character to the, you know, to the design. And you know, this is the bit where, yes, you don't have to be too technical on this bit. Just make sure that you get in all the nooks and crannies. Make sure you get paint on all the surfaces, and cover up all the plastic, basically. Make sure it all gets covered with some paint. You can always add highlights later. This is just the base coat, if you like. And this forms the basis of the texture that you will create the aging towards the end of the build. This is about getting the basics. So this will look like a brand new roof in terms of colour, but we're going to age it later, as I mentioned. So yeah, coming towards the end of the painting bit, just the details next. Once again, when it's all done, just go look over it, check it, make sure that you haven't missed anywhere, make sure that all the little nooks and crannies have been covered. Look at it from different angles to when you were painting as well. Just make absolutely sure that there isn't something glaring. You can always touch it up later, but it doesn't hurt to make sure that you've got paint everywhere for the base colour. And that's what this is. Right, I think I've declared myself happy. And there you go, the inside and the outside of the roof. And as you can see on the other one, I've painted all those brackets black, and you can really see those. And there's the walls all painted, all ready to assemble. Right, that's it for this week. Please like and share this video with friends. That tells people that there's something they'll like. And please subscribe. It really does help the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Then I can start investing in a bit more kit. I've got something in mind that will make some of our footage really spectacular. But that requires a little bit of help from you guys, so it doesn't cost you anything. Hit that subscribe, and as I said, next week we're going to start assembling. And as you can see, I get busy with the Yoo-hoo glue. Handy little size this. We sell these little tubes on our trade stand at shows. Take away my distance glasses and practicing what I preach using the Yoo-hoo down the chamfered edge, which I left bare of paint so that the glue's got something to hold on to. Just a little slither down there. Anyway, this gives you a taster of next week. Please do tell people about us. Please do visit our website, which is www.enwinsmodels.co.uk, and there you will find all our models. This one will be joining that throng soon. We are going to be launching this model at Rainford this coming weekend. So if you are in Rainford, in Lancashire, do pop over and we will have kits available for people. And hopefully this one that I'm assembling here will be finished and ready for you to look at. In the meantime, don't forget we have other videos available, and if you look on the screen, you will see a couple of links pop up. One to subscribe if you want to do it the easy way, and the others for videos that we think you'll find of interest. Do check them out, and we'll see you next time.